Even after 2 years. Like we were saying, the nerves are always with us still just before every show. Hello, everybody. Um, Thank you for joining us today. My special guest is Linda de Gonzalez. Thank you, Linda, for
Hi,
joining me.
everybody.
We've been having some very interesting conversations backstage. And we're going to have Linda introduce us. I have just a few questions about the Akashic Records that she would like to share and just kind of share a little bit of her journey. But I know we have quite a few people already that's been with us in chat to start with. So I just want to do some shout outs here. We have Fogo Pogo, and that's Kaylee. She has requested a reading. We got you, Star Kaylee. We know you're driving, so safe drives home, my dear. Um, Moderator extraordinaire, Stephen, Cosmic Orphan, is here. Thank you. Um, and Karen Care Bear is here. So we have you start as well too, my dear. And yes, prayers to your neighbors, that all is well, that you know that they're okay. And this might be minor. And Stephen, thank you so much for putting that information into chat for us for Linda.
Yeah, I
Um,
really appreciate it. Thank
Greatly.
you so much.
That's what I'm saying. Mod with the most. Let's see. Did we get anybody? Yes, and Moira is here. Hello, Moira. Good to see you. Oh, and Allison popping in, just getting home from work, out walking the fur babies. So she'll be listening and walking. And Nancy, a Crohn's Intuition, is here. Hello, Nancy. David is here. Hello, David.
Hi, David.
Yes, I haven't seen you in a while, so welcome. And wow, 7 people already. Um, so I guess we can just get started. As people are coming in, we'll say hello. Hello, Marby. Marby just popped in. And Stephen is adding some more. Okay, reiterate. So thank you. And he makes sure that he puts the links in the chat. So that's wonderful as well.
It is wonderful. Thank you.
Yes. And Stephen, I don't know if your like ears were burning, but I was telling Linda backstage what a lovely southern honeyed drum. And she was like, "Oh, I bet you I could just fall asleep listening and reading off the telephone directory or book." And I'm like, "Most definitely." So, yes, Allison, thank you. Make sure to hit that like button, everybody. Hello, Patricia. Patricia Tyree is here. Book Bewitched. Hello,
Hi,
hello.
book.
Oh, oh, all wonderful people popping in. So we're up to 12. So let's get started. So Linda,
Yes.
um, what I'm going to start really quick is just what I want to share with everybody is about 2 years ago, when a lot of us didn't even have our channels yet. I would be, visiting like Lisa Spirit Intuitive and Denise and all the other channels. And there would be a whole bunch of us in chat saying hello, talking to each other and saying hello and asking
Yeah.
questions. And I remember Linda was one of those people that we would just chat up each other, everybody would chat. And now 2 years later, full circle, a lot of us have our own channels now. And it was so nice to see that you were one of the ones that joined us because you had been in so many chats in the past. So it's so nice to have you join the YouTube, community,
As
family.
as a creator, yeah, you would never, if you had told me 2 years ago in some chat, oh, I see you with your own YouTube channel and you're doing this and you're doing that, I would have said, yeah.
Yeah, right. Hello, Sonia.
I want
Um,
some of what you're having.
yeah, exactly. So, but we've been inspired, we've been mentored, we've been guided, and a lot. It's all just learned by trial and error. I kept putting off saying, "Oh yeah, I want to do this," and then it's just like, "No, I'm not ready yet. I don't know if I have the right room. I know." And it was just like one day, it was just like in my head, "Just do it." And so I did it, and after I was done, it was like the nerves were out. It's like jumping into a pool. Oh, that water's cold, but feels awesome afterwards. And then when
Yeah,
that show was over, it was like, oh, when do I get to do the next one?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. When can I do this
definitely.
again? Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Totally
So
get it.
Linda, what would you like to share about us? What are your gifts?
Um,
We can start with
well,
that.
my biggest gift is that I'm a Canadian.
Okay. Are,
I'm only saying that because you were commenting earlier about Cosmic Orphan's accent.
mm-hmm.
For me, that would be like totally alien, foreign. It's something I only hear on TV. I don't actually know anybody who speaks like that. So very cool. I have always liked to, okay, so I'll be serious. I've always been intuitive. I've been told that I had a lot of intuition. I had very strong intuition, and I thought, yeah, so what? I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of useless information to give somebody in a way, if you don't tell them what they can do with it or how they can use it,
Exactly.
like, yeah, so what? And 2 years ago, when I started hanging out on WooTube, sorry,
I like that WooTube.
I mean, some people find it offensive. I didn't make it up.
Oh,
Some people find it offensive. I think it's very funny. So WooTube it is.
some people call it BooTube. I mean, come on,
Whatever. No, that would no, never mind. And thought that I might, because I had read tarot cards when I was much younger,
Mhm.
and I thought maybe I could refresh my knowledge and pick that up and see if I could find some. Because there's so many decks available, I thought I'd find decks that were connected. I felt connected to, and so that was how I started in one of the Crone Zone's live chats, which is fabulous, by the way, if you want to learn anything, because they do these
Bill and
beautiful,
Heather.
they're really, really good at
Please.
teaching. Huge shout out to the Crones.
Mhm.
There was a discussion about apparitions, and people were all saying, oh, I saw my grandmother at the foot of my bed and stuff like this. And I'm going, oh, I've never seen anything.
Once I
Have you? See, I never have. I've never seen anything.
It was so long ago, though, but yeah, and that was it.
No, I always knew, and I said this in the chat, I always know when there's somebody around. I always can feel, when somebody's coming in or whatever, come like into my space, I mean, but I don't see them. So, and Priscilla, and I'll never forget this, Priscilla looked directly at the camera and said, well, you're a psychic medium.
Well, okay, but what do I do with that? Like, right?
My immediate reaction was, yeah, no way. She's a lovely woman, and you have my heart, and I love you and admire you, but you're wrong. I'm not a psychic medium. Oh, no. Well, I didn't say that. Okay, this is just what's going on in my head. Anyway, so yes, and so I went. It was Allie's channel. A few days later, and wanted like a second opinion, let's say, to see if it would be confirmed. And oh yeah, Allie's pulling out the cards and going, well, yes. And the people she's reading, the women she was reading with, I don't remember who it was, of course, because
she has everybody on. She
has everybody on her channel, and she go, well, yes, this, and they're all saying the same. Well, yes, you are, and yeah, and I'm going, well, okay, and and so then that would have been about a year and a half. So what year is this? That would have been about December of 22.
So this is 24 now. So yeah,
24 now. So that would have been about December of 22. And then in March of 23, I took Kevin Lewis and Stouffer Cavan's class in psychic mediumship. That blew me wide open. And then in June, like 23, I mean, it feels like it was 10 years ago, but it was June, like 6 months ago, or however long that's been, 8 months ago. I accessed the Akashic Records the first time using Linda Howe's book. Linda
Howe?
Yeah. Not Linda Howe. That's on, aliens. That's Dr. Yeah. Oh, this Linda Howe's a doctor too. That's Linda Moulton Howe. This is Linda Howe. spelled
Okay.
the same way. They're both PhDs, you know.
Very cool.
So it's understandable that they would be confused, but this is a different one. Anyway, that book left a real impression on me. It was part of Allie Martin's book club. She has well, at that time there was a book club, and that was our assigned reading. And I see she has, like, it's just step by step. You follow the steps and you will access the records. And I did. It worked.
Now, have you taken Val's class as well?
I took Val's class after that. Yeah. So that was in June. And then I believe it was August, Val offered her class and I signed up for it. And then Val, so I started going to practice sessions, and Val asked me to work with her on some shows with her. And I was very reluctant to do so, but my guides are nags and wouldn't shut up and kept pushing me. And we've all experienced this, all of us, you know, when the guides want something, they will, you know,
they'll
we
put
have
enough.
free will. Yes, that's true. But, you know, if something's good for you, they won't shut up. They just won't. And honestly, I'm glad they did, because like I've met some really cool people. I've had some fun. I'm doing some readings which is what I love doing. Okay. Like this is a lot of fun for me.
Now backstage, what I was asking you about why was it necessary for like a key? Were you able to actually just access the records on your own? What was the difference? And you were like, oh, I would love to share that. So for you, you're explaining to me the Akashic is within here and the mediumship is out here.
So this is my understanding, and it's based on what I've read and what I've observed. Okay. Because there's no, well, it's different for every reader, as I'm sure anybody who reads tarot or who is a medium will tell you that, well, if you meditate, whatever method works, that's the method to meditate. Okay, that's the right way. So it's the way that works. Some people can access the Akashic records just like they can. I don't know. It's a gift that they have. It's a gift that they've been given, like all of our other gifts. And for me, now, Linda Howe's recipe, or her step-by-step instruction, I keep calling it a recipe.
Well, it can be a recipe, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you follow this, you get that. And it worked.
A little bit of this.
A little bit of that, a little bit of this, and 15 minutes meditating this. Now, I got to say, okay, so I don't use Linda Howe's method anymore. It works. Please don't get me wrong. I found it very cumbersome and because you see, so you meditate and you get into this space. All right. And then I have to pick up the book and read what I do next, because I got I got like a sieve for brains. And
sorry about the language. You're fine here. We're all adults.
It falls out of my head what I'm supposed to do next. And so I go back and I look at it, and then there's some stuff that you read out loud, and then some stuff that you read silently, and it's not necessarily the same stuff. And you do that like a couple of times in the course of this meditation. It takes me about 45 minutes, to do.
Sounds overwhelming.
And so, but it works. Okay, it is overwhelming, but it works. And so if you're willing to sit there and do this stuff, then you will get there. Now, the second part of your question is, do you need the keys? Some people do, some people don't. If you're not already in contact, if you're not already reading the records, then try the key. And how do you know you're reading the records? Well, for one thing, the vibration is so high that it I have full body chills, like seriously from the top. You cannot help but know that you are reaching an extremely high vibrational sphere or area or whatever, you can feel it, like your whole body tingles. Hang on, here's a good question from
this is
Majestic
Jay.
Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the difference between Majestic Oracle wants to know if I can tell the difference between an Akashic Records tap-in versus just a psychic reading. Okay, so that was one of the differences, is that if I'm in touch with the masters, the top of my head is really tingly. It's vibrating, okay? I'm vibrating from here up, and literally vibrating. And sometimes it goes down my spine, and sometimes you'll see me go like this, and that's because it can be a little uncomfortable, but it's just basically chills down my spine. When I do a mediumship reading, it's happening here it's happening in front of me. I can see the soul that I'm talking to in my mind's eye, or my third eye, whatever, behind my eyelids. I see the person, or I sense the person's energy that I'm talking to, that I'm communicating with, and it's like this, okay? Like they're there. Sorry, this is they're there,
fine,
right there next to me. When I'm communicating with the Akashic Records masters, it's all happening in my head. There's no out there. I see, when you watch me read, you'll see me close my eyes a lot. That's because I'm watching the movie in the back of my eyelids, because they'll show me like long streams of information visually, just like a movie, like I'm watching it on my iPad and my tablet. I mean, I don't have an iPad. Watching it on my tablet or on my laptop, and just watching it on the back of my eyelids, and so that's how I know the difference. The information that comes in from a psychic reading or a mediumship reading is usually there's not usually a lot of visuals for me. It's usually I know cognizant, and I hear. I get words dropped into my head a lot, like June or red car or something like that, or colors. I'll see colors, but not a lot of like, in fact, no detailed like movie scenes happening in front of me. So those are for me. Other readers experience differently.
Yeah, because we all vibrate differently.
And exactly.
And different lessons to learn too. Some are easier for others, while this life we got to work a little harder.
Yep. And also, let's not forget that our environment, I'm not talking about our house, I'm talking about the planets and their alignments and the things that are going on in it. Because one of the things that the masters told us in December in one of our practice sessions, because we do a lot of R&D in our practice sessions, they told us that the planetary alignments were interfering with our ability to connect and with their ability to connect. So we had to work harder to raise our vibration to be able to meet them, and they had to work harder to lower their vibration to meet us so that communication could take place. Because many of us readers were bemoaning the fact that we were finding it really difficult to connect, and it was like struggling through fog and like, fighting your way through molasses to get where like just 2 weeks before had been easy and fast and full of energy and really,
Now for me, I've noticed almost like an exact opposite. For me, the last couple of weeks, I've been noticing an improvement, whereas a couple of weeks ago, it's just, we all vibrate and connect differently. And it's just not our planet, but we have to think of not just our solar system, but the effects, other energy and other ones. And it's mind blowing. And Moira did have a question for you. How do you perceive the masters? Do you have an image of what they look like?
Moira, such a great question. Okay, so one of my fellow readers, when she reads the records, she goes into a library and she walks up to the reception desk a big wooden reception desk, and there's a receptionist behind there, and she says, please, can I have the records of
Wow.
blah, 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 blah. And the receptionist goes, or information clerk, whatever they are, they go back and they come back with this book and show it to her, open the book and show it to her. And in the book is where she sees the moving pictures and the stories and the faces and everything else. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that's her experience with the Akashic Records. Me, I don't get any of that. I'm okay. So
I mean,
if
like you
any of
said, we're
my,
all different.
if
Mm-hmm.
anybody who knows me in real life sees this, they're gonna laugh their butts off, because this is like so me, space cadet, right? So where am I?
Mm-hmm.
I'm out in space, man. I'm I'm hanging in the galaxy, surrounded by stars and nebulae and all kinds of
Wow.
stuff like that, and just enjoying myself. It's really beautiful, and just enjoying the vibe. And the masters are light beings, but it would be difficult for me to distinguish them from the kind of the background. Okay, so they wear, I see them, okay, as
Mm-hmm.
being hooded like monks. Okay, so wearing these hooded cloaks, but they're beings of light. they're
Yeah.
they're not they're not That's just how I see them, scholars,
And they appear to us differently. Like for me to be able to, with Archangel Michael, I never felt comfortable with these pictures of the long mane flowing, the big sword, all this armor, I mean, it was just for me, it was overwhelming. But I wanted, and then it was just like I was meditating one day, and it was like I just closed my eyes, I opened them in my mind, and I walked into like an old fashioned like library, like turn of century library, or death
Mhm.
or office, like some
Yeah.
of the men, like their bourbon rooms or something. And there's the books, and there's a nice big table, and there's someone just sitting there relaxed, nice, white shirt, not suit or anything, but just looking good. I'm thinking to myself, okay, I don't understand. Had a pen, was writing, and I'm like, I don't understand. How is this warrior? I couldn't figure out. And he says, well, he goes, you don't always need a sword. He showed me his pen in his hand, and he goes, sometimes the pen is mightier than the sword.
Yeah.
And
Like the
what was
Downton Abbey library is what I'm picturing in my
and
head.
it was amazing, because I think it was, I don't know if it was a couple weeks later or a month later, I happened to be watching an interview that Klepier and Reed was doing with Kyle Gray and the other gentleman that does the cards. I can't remember his name, but one of them actually pulled out their version of Archangel Michael, and he was sitting at a desk with the library behind him. Validation. So, it's just, for me, it was just one of those mind blowing things. Like,
Yeah.
see, you got to start learning how to trust.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
all see things differently. We all are perceive things differently. And
Exactly.
just because one is not the same doesn't mean one is more right than
No.
over,
It's
the
who
other.
you are. It's your vibe. It's how you vibe. And we're not
Mm-hmm.
talking about high vibe and low vibe here. We're talking about your individual personal signature, like your name,
Mm-hmm.
or your brain. What's it called? An EKG or an
Mm-hmm.
ECG? I don't
Something
remember.
like that. Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, your brain print, right? Or your fingerprint. It's like your fingerprint. It's absolutely who you are. And that determines how you approach the masters and how the masters approach you and how your brain interprets. Because don't forget, our brain is biological,
Mm-hmm.
trying to perceive a spiritual reality.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Can't
will
do it.
interpret the signals in the way that makes sense for you. So
Mm-hmm.
don't get caught up on, oh my God, I don't see a library. I was just in a big room with people talking. Well, so go talk to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, again, we all
Go and
express
ask some
differently.
questions. Who are you? What am I doing here?
We've been having some comments that I've been highlighting. Let me just share here. Book Bewitched said her earlier, hey, dear sweet Linda, my
Oh,
dearling.
hi, book.
Allison has said, yes. Oh my God, people need to relax. I'm so tired of people being
Yeah, me
offended by
too.
absolutely nothing.
I know, me too.
I agree. It's this
Yeah.
whole cancel culture. And also, Book Bewitched said Linda's biggest gift is affirming another and giving joy.
Thank you.
So I love that.
Cheerleading, cheerleading. Never did it in high school. Doing it now.
There you go. And Nancy says just subbed. So
Oh,
wonderful.
thank you, Nancy. That's so kind. Oh, you guys.
And Book said, I use WootTube. It's an affirmation of the community.
That's how I see it too, because I think the best thing that you can do with an insult is to take it and make it your own.
Yep.
You know?
There you go. And Jay said, thank you for giving us your point of view, Linda.
I got lots of them.
And she also said, it's interesting the many views people have as to how many Akashic Records masters we have.
You have as many as you need for what you're doing. So
at any given time, too.
At any given time. It's maybe 3 or 4 today. It may be 24 tomorrow. Some of them, I mean, who knows? Like that's like getting caught up on what your guides' names are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but I find that okay, and I really don't want to hurt anybody's feelings here, but for me, those kinds of things are like, who cares? It's not necessary to your growth or to communicating with your guides to know what words.
See, I like names.
Your mouth. Because they
provide me. Yeah, and they provide it for me so that
you want to say, call me. If they want to say, call me Wolfie or whatever, well, that's fine. But I see sometimes in chat people say, what are my guides? And I've been guilty of this. What are my guides called? Well, if you have an alien light, multidimensional light being hive mind, good luck translating that. I mean, I call him Fred.
I was going to say Bob.
I call him Fred just because it amuses the hell out of me to do that. But, I can call my guides. I can call on them just by saying guides and I have different guides for different things. If I'm walking out in the icy, you guys are going to laugh at this. Okay. Cause anyway, if I'm out walking on an icy sidewalk, I'm asking for the Pathfinder and goat-footed guides and angels to make sure that my feet are set firm on my path.
There you go.
Whatever works. I don't need to know their names.
And
but I recognize them because it's the same ones that show up all the time when I ask for the goat-footed. Anyway, never mind.
No, it's wonderful. I love it.
I recognize them. I have parking angels. I have driving angels and guides, and they help me in small ways. And finders. Oh my God, I have finders too, and they help. But I don't have names for any of them, but I feel them, and so I kind of recognize them, just by their fingerprints.
Now, I have a question for you. First of all, really quick, Care Bear says, I see angels in my mind's eye as pure light, each with their own aura. Beautiful.
That's probably as close to what we can understand of reality as any of us is ever going to get, because they are beings of light.
And my question was, or observation, I should say, is that the minute we started talking, I asked you questions about the Akashic and learning how to open it. Your babies got extremely excited, really started chirping loud, started flying around. Do you think they're like messengers and they're the ones that help bring some of those messages to you because of being...
Yeah. Someone said that they were emitting light codes, transmitting light codes. I don't know enough.
Birdie songs. Yep. She's going with all the birds. Yeah.
They're wonderful. I love my spirit budgies because they make me laugh and they're fabulous. But someone mentioned that, I can't remember who it was. It was another reader, and I don't know who. Maybe it was even Val, transmitting light code or light language, or transmitting codes in light language. Not exactly sure because I don't know anything about light language,
I'm learning. I have one, and JJ has been helping me. JJ of Two to Speaks.
Yeah. I know
helping me over the past year. So I'm slowly practicing. And
I don't know anything at all about it. But anyway, so I trust that they are.
It's a human thing. Yep, the names are human.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
yeah, absolutely, Aries girl. It is totally a human thing.
And I've noticed that though, when a lot of times when I go to connect with a guide, I find a lot of them, and this has been something with me since I've been young, being connected to the names that begin with an A. A lot of times when I go to write a name or a guide or something, a lot of things start to come, or like the letter A appears a lot. So for me, whether it's the resonance or the energy behind the letter A in different languages is what, comes through. I'm not sure, but I find that really fascinating. And Book Bewitched says, I'm a name freak. 33 years since I had my child, but I still collect names.
Okay, so Book, I used to do data
Hi,
entry,
Elaine.
and I kind of collected names too. And my favorite first name that I ever found was Bling Bling.
Bling bling.
I don't want to say the last name because that would probably violate somebody's confidence or somebody's like
Yeah.
privacy. But the first name was Bling Bling. And there was another
Okay.
one whose name was Princess Queenie.
They probably want people to say, okay, humans, lighten up a little bit. Here, we're going to give you this name to not be, so anxious, not to be so
Yeah,
uptight. When you're given a name of Bling Bling, you
yeah,
know.
I know. It made me giggle every time I had to enter her name. I just went, ah! It made my very tedious job, somewhat amusing. Yeah.
So wonderful. Well, we are at 5:31. We do have some requests for readings. Did you want to get started?
Yeah.
All righty. And now,
Good.
just one I want to address. Now, Sonia, I don't do third party readings. Let me just look at this and see, maybe we can just do, because for me, I don't have permission to go into another
Yeah.
person's energy if they're still
Yeah.
alive. I mean, I can go around your energy
Yeah.
and the energy of of this, but for me, just personally, my feelings are I don't do a third party readings without that person's
It's a question of ethics, isn't it? Because
Mm-hmm.
because two pillars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Consent and free will. And I won't look at someone's records without either. It just
So
I
I'm
won't
just
do
going to
it.
look at the question here. Can you look at if the man I just met that just lost his? Oh, okay, was in another life. Oh, was in another life.
Okay, so what I can do, Sonia, is I can look at your records and your uh, um, I can look at the records of your lives and see if I can find him. Um, and because he may just be a member of your soul family. Just give me a sec. Oh, you know what? You know what we forgot to do, Heather?
You got to do your key prayer. Okay.
We had to do the prayer of. We're going to start with the prayer of protection, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say the key to the records, because this is how I read. I mean, I'm sure that there's people who can just jump in, but sadly, not me, not yet.
Don't say sadly. This is how
Well,
you
that's a goal.
connect. Yep.
Eventually.
Yep. There
Okay.
you go.
We are surrounded by the pure white light of divine source. We ask Archangel Michael to protect and guide us, and we call forth all of our angels, guides, beings of light, and Akashic Records masters to assist us now to receive information of the highest truth, highest frequency of light and love, allowing us to receive exactly what we need for our greatest good and the greatest good of humanity. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay,
So
that
let
was.
it be.
And now I'm going to read the key.
Okay.
We open ourselves to the light, and with this light, we open ourselves to our truth. And with this light, we open ourselves to our soul's purpose. And with this light, we open ourselves to be guided towards our highest good and the highest good of all in divine love. And so, this group present here now, and anybody who joins us later or in the future, is given the truth to best serve them on their healing journey into the love and acceptance that is most beneficial for them in this moment. And with this light and guidance, we unlock the energy field of this group and all future members of this group to receive the record of their soul. I will close the records probably after the show. I mean, because I'll lose track and then I'll go, oh my God, I forgot to close them. So I will close them, but it may be after the show because I probably won't remember while it's going on. Okay, so
really
what's
quick
the question again? No, Sonia, don't tell me his name.
We don't, because it's again third party. We no names.
Don't need his name because I'm not looking at him. I'm looking at you, girl.
So I did put it up there in case you need it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. He just lost his wife last week. Okay. You have been in a couple of lives together. He's a member of your like, you know each other from like before. He's a member of your soul family, but you've never had much to do with him. So by that I mean you've been sort of peripheral, like teacher student and students in the same classroom kind of thing. It's been a distant kind, not distant, but kind of acquaintanceship. Not familial. There's no spousal or familial stuff going on that I can see. I see you in a classroom together. Each of you enjoys what the other has to say, and you kind of tease each other and you play together on the playground, but you go home and you don't much, you don't get any closer, and then you go and live your lives and see each other sometimes when you go back to your hometown. But, it was never that close of a relationship prior to this lifetime. Sorry, I tend to move around a lot with my eyes closed. So Sonia, that doesn't mean that there isn't a connection. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't pursue a friendship or but I mean, if he lost his wife last week, like he's going to be pretty raw. So,
So, okay. Were you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I do want to interfere. So Sonia, I do believe in your energy. So trying to okay, let me just backtrack because I wasn't trying to connect with him. I was focusing on your energy. But I did get the holy mountain. So I feel like there may have been something to do, a connection to and I'm looking at this next card, which is the beloved. And for me, I feel like this connection feels very spiritual to you. It feels like it was possibly in a past life where it was a spiritual tribe, a spiritual communion, a group in the village. It was okay. Going out on a limb here, like a monastery, but not like the monastery, like like with like a sanctuary monastery. It was a place of going and living in connection with the earth, but that sun, it was a holy mountain. So the sun was very predominant with the spiritual beliefs, but also connected with Mother Earth. It's kind of hard to see, but there is somebody that's sitting and they're meditating. And with the beloved, it feels like it was a strong, it was a group of people together that were connected by this true love of a spiritual being that was truly loving. The beloved is just so beautiful, in the hands and in that beautiful red, that life affirming, that vibration, because his heart is vibrating. So it was like sitting together, whether it was through a chant, a mantra, vocalization. This was a somewhere connected with a group of spiritual people, and I pulled from my tarot cards, and I got the Page of Wands. So again, and this is beautiful because we have a jaguar in this, and the pages are about exploration, new possibilities, energies. So just very like an adventure, a very enthusiastic explorer. So you you can explore. I know you're getting the feeling that you want to explore this because you feel that connection. You see kind of like that torch, that light, and there's that jaguar. The jaguar being very powerful, very spiritual, very grounded to the earth. They can see, very well, and they hunt both day and night. So you have that vision. So like if he has his wife has just recently passed, give it time, give yourself time. But those are my cards for you, Moira. Like it's not indigo, Myra, but I'll take it. It's good enough. So let me just see if she made any other comments. Hello, Odelia. Thank you, thank you. Moira said just look out the window at a beautiful moon. Oh, that's lovely.
Aw.
So let's see. Lynn, right now questions are closed. Let's see how we do because I don't want to keep because I know this is exhausting. So Linda, you
No.
let me know.
Here's something else. This is another way, and I didn't occur to me to mention this sooner, but this is another way that it feels very different from doing that Akashic Records readings feels very different from psychic or mediumship readings. When I'm doing psychic readings or mediumship readings, it's my energy that I'm using. When I'm doing Akashic Records readings, the energy is coming to me. So I'm buzzed. I am buzzing after doing a bunch of readings. Okay. It's a great feeling. I love it. I probably won't sleep tonight.
Oh,
Not until 2:00 in the morning. That's fine. I got nothing else to do, man.
wait a minute. I just lost her. There we go. Chat jumps so fast sometimes that when you go to click on somebody else.
Oh, that was a heck of an experience. Oh my God.
I timed out people. I banned my moderators. I'm just like, I'm sorry.
I know. I lost 2 questions last week and I felt so bad. Oh well, anyway.
It happens. And they're free. There are multiple channels doing shows all the time, and they can easily put that back in the chat. And if you can't get to them, there's always another show reader that they can present the question to. So don't ever feel bad. It happens.
And I apologized. I promised I would do better. So, we'll see.
Apologize.
We'll see today.
So thank you so much, Linda. It was like recognizing a friend from the past. And yes, he's that kind of person. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, let's see. And Karen says, my crown is tingling and I'm sweating. Yep, me too. And she says, I appreciate you both. Well, we appreciate you and every single one of you for being here. And I know Kaylee mentioned in the chat earlier she was home. So let's go ahead.
Okay. Care Bear says she wants to take a class. Val's got a class in May. Go to Val Dragonfly Crystal's website or channel because she has links on her channel description and see about registering for her class. It's free for members and it's $39 if you're not a member of her channel. So
that's a great price.
Like borscht and do it. I highly recommend it for everybody. It's a real learning experience that it will benefit everyone. Okay, so her name's Kaylee. Okay,
her name is Kaylee.
Any insights you can? I'm going to be driving home. Okay, fine. So
she's home now. So
okay, insights. Okay, Kaylee. Let's see. You're not very kind to yourself. I'm sorry. Sometimes I apologize ahead of time because this isn't me talking. Okay, and if you're serious about your spiritual growth, your first step is to love yourself. No, correction. Your first step is to know yourself and know what brings you joy and what brings you pain and love yourself. Learn how to forgive yourself. Learn how to love yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be joyful. Be kind to yourself. Remember that your guides are with you Remember that your guides just and the angels around you just are waiting for you to ask for help. They want to help. They're looking for ways to help. All you have to do is ask. If you say, for example, well, I don't even know how to begin loving myself, suddenly you'll find your YouTube feed filled with suggestions on that very topic. Imagine that. And you'll find your Facebook feed filled with book suggestions on that very topic.
Mm-hmm.
And
she says, nope, true. Keep going. So you're on
so
the right track.
so all you have to do is ask your guides and angels for help in what you're trying to accomplish. But the very first thing that I'm getting from the masters is that your first step is to know yourself and love yourself, and that goes along, that's like your lesson in this life, is to love yourself. Goes along with self-esteem and belief and confidence and trust and all those kinds of things that go along with real genuine self-love. Okay. Because you are loved, and you are an eternal being of light. You are here temporarily. You are not the body you wear. You are far greater than that. You are eternal and powerful. Own it. Be it. Do it. Big chills. Okay.
Okay. She says, I struggle to ask for help in the third dimension, let alone with spirit.
It's way easier to ask for help from spirit than it is from anybody I know, you know?
And
Like,
then she says she's definitely a work in progress.
we all are, baby.
Yeah.
We all are. We all are. These are things that I struggle with.
We all do.
You know, we all do. Partly because of our society and partly because of how, the time whatever, all sorts of stuff. But yeah, we all struggle. We all struggle.
She says, thank you, Linda. Started on this journey in May, so new steps. Yeah.
Baby steps, yes.
And yes, one of my cards, the Knight of Pentacles, taking your time, being meticulous, moving through, having patience. So the two cards that jumped out, Kaylee, they came out together, was King of Swords and the Ace of Swords. And there's that sword, you're piercing your crown chakra, you're working on, but like the Knight of Pentacles says, you have to give yourself time, like Linda said, baby steps, learning how to ask for help. But that King of Swords, it's about discipline. It's making sure that you are being mindful of your thoughts, making sure, because swords can pierce the truth and pierce the veil through our crown chakra, and we receive information, but it can also, we can kind of, our thoughts can cut ourselves, can kind of cut at our self-esteem, our self-love. And like what Linda said in the beginning, knowing thyself, I mean, you can't have more than that than with the Ace of Swords. So it's a beautiful confirmation to that. And once this gets all into play, my dear, the card that ran along with it was the Ten of Cups. It's that sense of joy, of completion, of basically coming home. It's not necessarily creating a family, but that sensation of having everything, that all your needs met, having all your expectations met, having your skills met, and of course being emotionally happy and stable, because you're balancing the mind and the emotions together, and you're taking slow time to do it. So that's what I have. Thank you, my dear. And I will be talking to you later tonight. So here, let me just get my cards, because I'm learning a certain way, new way of doing the cards. I keep in two separate piles. Oh, okay. So, oh, I just love hearing the winds going by. I love that. So let me see. I have a great group of friends helping me, she said. Um, Thank you, Stephen, again for the arrows. And thank you, Heather. You're welcome. And like Karen said, to stop growing and learning is to stop living. Exactly. I mean, then what's the point of being here if we're not, this is a similar conversation Alison and I were having, once we achieved everything we're supposed to, then that's usually our time to exit because we came here and did what we were supposed to do. So if we're still here, that means we're supposed to be taking our time, we're learning more, and to be patient with ourselves.
And we still have a contribution to make.
Yes, and to redirect those thoughts. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Let's see. Fogo says, my ears are popping with the birds. Definitely speaking in spirit and light language. Let's see. And Book Bewitched, before we get to the next question, I find acceptance of spirit when I stop trying to define, prove validity using language of religion in which I was raised. I couldn't prove that. Why do I keep trying to prove this experience is real? We're all on our own personal, we have to kind of figure this stuff out for ourselves.
Yep. It's meaningful to you, and that's what matters.
Okay, so let me go ahead and remove Kaylee. And I am doing questions randomly because I have some new people. So let's see. Okay. Anne, are you still here? You said you put your question in caps, but I couldn't find it. So, Anne, are you still here? I hope they let you sleep at night.
Oh, they're all in bed at 9. They get covered up, they go to sleep, and when I uncover them is when they get up and start, their day. And I can uncover them at 7 a.m, or I can uncover them at noon, but they'll be quiet because they're covered. So it's nighttime.
Okay, Anne is here. So, okay, she is here. I don't think there's any questions. So.
Oh, Care Bear. I nap on the couch to the budgies chirping all the time. So, Anne, did you have a specific question?
She said she had put her question in caps. I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
She just asked if she could have a message.
She just wants a message? Okay.
As far as I know, unless she's typing right now, but
well,
okay. Now she's trying to type something, Linda. I'm not sure because her typing is kind of broken up. My love,
her Uncle Steve. You want a message from your Uncle Steve? Can you just say yes or no?
Yeah, Anne, can you type just yes or no for Linda?
Because I'm interpreting that to mean you want a message from your Uncle Steve. If I'm wrong, just say no and then clarify. Because
yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so psychic mediumship here. Okay, Steve. Not a very tall man, balding, wears glasses, has a beer belly. Is that Steve? Anne? Is that your Uncle Steve? I'm not seeing him with blue jeans on. He's wearing like a checkered cotton shirt and like pants, like proper trousers, not jeans. Okay, so somebody else. All right. Thanks, whoever you are.
Yeah, she said no.
Okay, I'm looking at someone who is medium height with dark hair. Seems kind of shy. Man, I'm batting zero.
Oh no, I didn't just take that up. That was the last one I left up. That's not what she's currently saying. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
that's
still
okay.
waiting for.
No, she said no.
No,
255.
that was to the last one, not to this current one.
Oh yeah,
you
but
just said.
oh, she said. Oh, okay.
You know, she's just saying yes. This was for Steve. This
And
was
then
for
no.
for the
Oh,
first
okay, okay.
description.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Anne, is this medium height gentleman with dark hair? I don't really have a sense of what he's wearing. He's kind of hanging back. Because he's not sure if he should come forward.
He had blonde hair, I guess, and
Blue eyes. No, that's not this guy. Okay.
maybe Steve doesn't have a message for her. Maybe one of these other spirits might.
No, they shouldn't be putting themselves forward when they know that they're not who's being requested. Like, that's just rude.
Oh, okay.
At least in my books, it's rude. Other people might feel differently about it, and that's okay.
Steve, Cosmic Orphan said maybe Steve dyed his hair.
They all look like, they all seem like.
Our Cosmic Orphan likes to add just a little humor for sometimes for heavier questions, just to make things a little light.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
People are sick.
Is this week some kind of anniversary for him? His birthday or the day he passed, or maybe his wedding anniversary. There's some day this week that is it important to him?
And he gained weight.
He gained weight, yeah.
I'm just going to mute myself because I'm going to ask my pendulum something.
There's nobody that's jumping up and March 12th is his birthday. Okay. So he's got a birthday coming up. Okay, all right. So this is probably the right guy. Because he's not showing me very much other than his face, which is a pleasant face, but he's like kind of blurred out the rest of himself. Or maybe I'm blurred out. I don't know. I can't perceive it very well.
Yeah, this is perfect.
He's really happy you wanted to call him. He's really surprised, which is why he didn't want to come forward, because he didn't think that it was for him. He remembers you very fondly.
Oops. StreamYard can be very slow.
He doesn't have any particular message, Anne. He's just really thrilled that you wanted to talk to him, and he just sends you love and joy. I'm sorry. I can usually connect way better than this, but he just doesn't even. If he has any messages, he's not sharing them with me other than his love and his joy at being called. He's surprised and excited by that. You were a sweet girl who grew into a sweet woman. Hugs and love.
So, Anne, I asked my pendulum, and I'm not sure. Just let me know. Was Uncle Steve a hunter? Was he like in the woods? Did he love the mountains? Was he someone who provided for family? Okay, so this, yeah. So this is for the hunter, because I got the hunter, and he kind of sort of looks a little bit like he might have dark hair. Just he liked to fish. Well, I have the hunter. I have the holy mountain. And for me, this feels like he loved being in nature. He loved being in the woods. He loved to, he was like a mountain man, nature. That's where he felt most happy, most at peace. I also, it has, clarification, and I got the Ace of Pentacles again, and it's got little wolf pups on there, and then of course you got the deer on the Pentacles. So the Pentacles is here. This information is being given, and of course wolves are known to be a pack family. They're loyal to each other. They're very loving to, unless one of them misbehaves, and then they will be disciplined. The alpha male does not permit. It's like any family unit. If one of the other wolves in the pack does not do what they're supposed to do, they get reprimanded. And the alpha males and the females, they mate for life. So it's a very bonded, loyal breed of animal. And he liked to fish, and which is interesting. Okay, now I have a card. It's the Queen of Cups, and there's a fish on it.
Bingo, Heather.
Now this could be representing. I think the fish does represent Steve, and the Queen of Cups I feel like is you, and the Queen of Cups is somebody who's very nurturing, very loving, but also very intuitive, very psychic. The cup, she's attuned to her divinity. She's in tune to her intuition. So you may have already had dreams about him, or if you go and you sit and meditate, have him come to you and talk to you. But this card is saying that if I feel like on an intuitive level, on a psychic level, he has made himself known to you, or you have felt him. And if you do communicate with him, he does hear you. He likes to be outside. Okay. So I'm glad that was helpful.
I'm so impressed. You got so much more than I did. It's like fighting the fog, man.
Well, I for me, I need cards, but sometimes, with you have to wait until somebody comes through who's willing to share. Yes, I have been having dreams. Okay. So trust those dreams. And when you wake up in the morning, now sometimes it's hard for me, I keep a journal nearby, but a lot of times when I wake up, boom, they dissolve and I can't remember. So If there's any little snippet that you can remember, jot them down if you can. But that Queen of Cups is somebody
Yeah.
who is very intuitive, very in touch with her emotions. She's very nurturing, compassionate, very artistic as well. So if you hadn't thought about maybe learning to maybe develop some of those abilities, again, we have people in our community like Val who offers good workshops, and she only charges like 39. I mean, it's really, um,
Yeah.
it could be something that you might want to look into. And Moira asked, is it hard to switch from Akashic to medium readings?
Apparently. I'm not sure that
That's beautiful.
I'm not sure that the problems I had is because it's difficult to switch. I'm not sure if it's like because I have to work very hard to connect at all these days. And it won't improve for me until August is what I've been told. So, it takes some preparation and, meditation and dancing around the house and working to raise my vibration and
Sometimes feel tingles.
yeah.
Just start working with it and start. When I say playing with it, it's not like taking it lightly, but just really, okay, when you start feeling those tingles, what were you just thinking about? What were you just doing? Did you have a question in mind? And just start jotting things down when you have these moments, and see what comes up. And Allison says, yes, thank you, Allison. Linda, you did awesome. I wouldn't even look at the chat. Just stay with your readings, in my honest opinion. Yes,
Okay.
because sometimes we get thrown off. Yep. So
because squirrel, it's shiny.
yeah. So let me see. I just had them. Patricia, are you still here? I'm just going to take a quick sip.
Oh, good idea. Sip, sip, everybody.
Patricia, because I know there's some other shows, so people might be jumping back and forth. But yep, there she is. So Patricia just said, I would love to have a reading.
Okay,
so
Patricia.
Okay. Do you want her to put in a specific question, or
no? I mean, if she's happy with the kind of readings that Fogo got, and that that I've been doing so far, just as general readings, then okay. So I'm just going to ask for if they have anything for you, if they have anything to say to you. Patricia, you're another one who needs to be more kind and gentle with yourself. You've achieved a lot, but it's cost you a lot. And you need to, there's a need for healing. You need to seek healing. On an energetic level. So sorry, just give me a second here. Your heart needs healing. I don't think they mean physically. Like, I don't think you have a heart condition, which I wouldn't actually ever say to anybody, but yourself, your real self, has been wounded and needs healing. And that's one prong of that healing is energetic. So Reiki, meditation, and you also need to be kinder and more gentle with yourself, and treat yourself with more reverence and more compassion. Try to be as compassionate as you would be if you found a kitten by the side of the road. Think of yourself that way, and be nurturing and gentle with your own self. Yeah. Energetic healing.
Yeah, she's having health issues. Her energy is low. Okay.
So, yeah, you might. I don't know how easy it is for you to do this, but you might want to look into someone doing Reiki for you, because that'll help you balance your physical energy so that you can heal, and help your whole body heal. That will help you. Okay, so what else will help her? Eat as clean food as you possibly can. So if you can find food that somebody's actually grown, and I mean, all food is grown, right? What they mean is that someone has worked the land and planted the seed and put it in there and looked after the plants, and that it's not like some big farm where machines have done everything. So if you can find a farmer who has like a market garden or something like that, or maybe some of your neighbors might be willing to sell some tomatoes and potatoes and carrots and whatever, but they're saying that the cleanest food that you can find doesn't necessarily mean organic, although probably mostly it does. It means grown by a person's work. I think there's more to it. There's more to it than that, but that's my understanding of why it's important. It's fine to eat meat, but keep it in moderation. If you eat meat, that's fine, but do it moderately. Like 2 or 3 times a week is what they mean by moderate. And yeah, clean food.
And just for you too, for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
Make sure that you see your healthcare providers. Well, I
Yes.
put that in the chat, but
yeah. Do not stop seeing
nice
your
balance.
doctor. Do not stop taking your medications. Do not stop going to your appointments. Do all of that.
It all helps each other. It's a balance.
Work together.
Mm-hmm.
Creates a balance. And that's what you want, is a balance.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Patricia.
Were you done, Linda?
I'm done, yeah.
Okay. So Patricia, the main energetic for you is the Hermit. And as I pulled that up, your baby went, wow. So, and there's a bird and there's a beautiful owl on his arm. So the Hermit, Patricia, you yourself know your body best. You need to listen to your body. Introspection, reflection. Really start paying your attention to your body, what you're putting in, like Linda was saying, because I have cards that show this. But for me, it's a light. It's like looking at a light, shining a light, saying what can we do moving forward. And this is about taking time to reflect, again, listening to your intuition and looking at your body as a whole. The wisdom that comes from that, listening to our bodies. Um, I got the Two of Wands next, and the Two of Wands is all about preparation. I want to see something else here, the details and making decisions. So this has to be where it feels like you're already making decisions. You know, Lena offered some great suggestions about, eating healthier. I mean, nowadays it's very difficult for anybody to really eat healthy with all the junk they put into our foods, and especially, the cost at the supermarkets and also, but just trying to be mindful, planning, moving forward. Um, and yes, love yourself. I got the Seven of Pentacles, and look at what's in here. It's a garden. You got vegetables. She's standing in front of the garden, the vegetables. So you're looking at what you're working on. There's beautiful choices. You have the beautiful horses flying above and behind, and the horses is about freedom of movement, of air. So making sure you get enough fresh air as well. And the focus on this card here is in her heart. So making sure, because like I also was saying in chat, our emotions affect our body. Every body within our every, how do I say, it's every part of our being, our spiritual, our mental, our physical, everything is all intricately I can't even say the word, connected. And when you start doing that, you will notice I got the Ten of Pentacles. And while, yes, this is a happy home, this is a lot, not just by happy home, but it's a health card. It's the Pentacles. It's about feeling safe, secure, you're grounded, you're earthed, you're listening to your body. It will start feeling better. The bottom of the cards that I was getting is, yes, I was getting the Ten of Swords. You're going through a lot. There's that heart, there's that emotions behind it. um Five of Swords, it may feel like, now I know this is going to sound weird, but sometimes okay, I'm just going to say it. We feel like at times our bodies are bullying our, we're bullying our bodies, or our bodies are bullying. It's like, why is my body doing this to me? Why? And there's just this sense of just being bullied. There's also that mental aspect to it too, of us just kind of mentally attacking ourselves, self defeat, kind of what like Linda was saying too. You just got to learn how to love yourself, let go. You start doing the work. And the last card on the bottom fit perfectly with the Ten of Pentacles. I got the Three of Cups. So again, not just a symbol of what of I mean, it's a celebration. It's things coming together. But again, the cups, about water, drinking, intuitively listening to your body. Your body will let you know. It will start to celebrate when you start taking better care of it, or when you find ways of taking care of it better. I had difficulty even seeing an eye doctor today because healthcare plans don't want to cover people who are on welfare. And so just trying to get a basic eye exam. So I know how hard it is to find a really good doctor these days, and a real good one can be extremely expensive. So I know a lot of it may be weighing you down. It feels like too. You may feel like doctors are coming at you, or healthcare. But all that aside, just really starting, like Linda says, starting simple, drinking more water, eating more vegetables. If you feel your body needs moderate meat intake, because some people need more meat than others in their diets.
Yeah.
This is where you start to listen to your body. You go into that introspection, reflection, and start asking your body, what is it that you need, that we need to get better? And I'll leave that at that, because of course I'm not a doctor. But like again, also with your regular doctor, um, I don't know if I'm going to say this right. I always have a hard time. Naturopath. Yeah, it's good to see a natural pathologist, something like that. Um, yeah, Reiki. Combining all different forms of holistic and regular Western medicine, and just Self-love, girl, and support. We're sending you a whole bunch of love. I know people in the chat are, because I avoid trying to look at the chat when I read. Um, and Moira, I started a vegetable garden last year. Yes, it is, and it tastes so much better too. And
I
let's
have
see.
cherry tomatoes growing on my balcony. Oh, I mean, like,
Oh,
not right now because it's February, but I will have, she
love
said
them.
confidently.
I just found out that I am diabetic, and on top of everything else, diet is crucial for me. So yeah, listen to
So
your
I wondered why they were hammering on about food. I thought, okay, well,
nutritionist. I see one too.
yeah,
And what they my nutritionist is free through Horizons, where I get my mental health, counseling in my groups and stuff, and my insurance covers it. So there may be someone in the area that will take insurance, whatever what kind you have, and they can sit down with you and they can go over what would be a good plan of action. They monitor your blood pressure. If they want blood work done, they'll be able to write you a script to go have blood work done. They'll look at your CBLs and things like that. And I know it's hard and it's probably very scary, but it's really come a
it's
long way
overwhelming.
medicine wise. And so just really ask spirit to bring you people that will help support
Yeah,
you and lift you up
yeah,
and help you with your health.
yeah.
So aloha, Jonathan. Good to
Hi,
see you.
Jonathan.
She said, "Oh, you're welcome, my dear." Oh, and this is lovely. I'll share online resources and
Oh,
recipes. Yep, this is beautiful.
there,
We all
that's
support
lovely.
each other. Um,
You just have to ask and you get resources.
I'm just gonna go.
Well, in fact, you didn't even ask. It's there in front of you.
Oh, Lisa is here. Hi, Lisa.
Hi,
Lisa.
Lisa.
She was saying hi. So yep, there we go. So yes, I apologize, but I have to avoid chat when I read. I noticed lately because I get. So we are at 6:22. Oh my
Uh,
goodness. Um, let's see. Let me remove Patricia. Let's see who I have. Okay, let me see. Let's Kaylee. We already read for Kaylee. Let's see. We have Care Bear. We have Karen. We have Moira, and we have Joyful Journey. Lynn, we probably will not be able to get to you. Do you have enough time and energy to do three more, or do you want to do just one more? It's up to you, sweetheart.
I have my own live reading chat at 5 o'clock Pacific time. So that's an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, whatever it is from now. So I'm
From
good.
now.
I'm as long as I have a half hour before that. So I'm good for another hour. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
whatever you want, but yeah,
Oh,
sure.
I'm
Three more
fine because
minutes.
I don't I have a backstage at 8 o'clock. So though I do have
Okay.
to start dinner
All
about
right.
half hour. But let's just go ahead.
Whatever,
Let's
whatever you have left. Yeah.
yes. So
Care Bear.
Lynn
Okay.
will do we won't be able to get to you, Lynn. But we will there'll be other shows, and Linda's going to be doing her live too. So if you want to come back and
Come to my channel at 5 o'clock
yes,
Pacific
there you
time.
go. You're supposed yep. Promote yourself, girl. Promote yourself.
Shameless plugs. I've got them, man.
It's not shameless. We got to build. Let's help build Linda. Help Linda build up her channel.
I'm premiering Nightbot tonight. This should be fun. No,
Oh,
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
like Nightbot.
I know because people don't, well, because it's a learning curve, and
Yeah.
I did my best to learn it, and so we'll see how well I did tonight. I took out the rules for emojis and caps, so you can put in as many emojis and as many caps. All right, took out all those rules because this community loves its caps and its emojis because that's how people
Oh yes.
ask questions. But that's how people were always told to ask questions. So
Okay, I'm
yeah.
going to a totally different deck for you tonight, Karen.
So
Ugh.
Care Bear, spiritual guidance for your path forward.
Bye, Sonia. Thank you for being here.
Well, I'm not immediately being told to be kind to yourself. So I think that that may be a lesson you're beginning to grasp. Daily spiritual practice is what I'm hearing. Joy and compassion. You know, they wouldn't shut up earlier, and now I can't get. Your guides are communicating with you pretty well, apparently. Whether it's in your sleep or you're hearing them, or you're getting their little nudges and their inspirations, they're communicating and you're receiving. Mm. Well, yeah, Care Bear, I get that. This is like the funnest stuff that I do. Well, that and make my parrots crazy, but yeah, then do that. I think the daily spiritual practice, I have the very strong sense that they're not talking about sitting in meditation. I have the very strong sense that it's practice, like make it practical, like your spiritual, make the spiritual manifest, make the joy and the love, bring it to earth and show it. That's the daily spiritual practice that I think they're talking about. Because I definitely did not get any. Yeah, they weren't talking about meditation. Yeah. No, they were talking about practice. I guess kind of practice what you preach. So, yeah. So that's all I have. It's pretty good.
It's very good. It's awesome.
Go out and be happy, Care Bear.
Yes.
How tough can that be?
Sometimes we make it harder.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, I think a
Yeah,
lot of it has
yeah.
to do with being so attached to our social media, really, because we are seeing what's going on in the world. We're constantly, it's like we've lost connection to just solitude, to the earth, to what's going on in our lives. And
Being
when
happy.
when you're adding that, it makes it so much harder for us to be able to,
Yeah.
take care of our own needs and ourselves, because we see everything that's going on out there, and it just kind of like sucks us in. And she shared something else.
Yeah.
I think that means writing and volunteering to community and teaching my
Yep.
children.
Yep.
Ooh, I dare. Okay, teaching. Thank you, because that just clarified something for me.
You go ahead, because that's all I've got, Helen.
Okay.
You know what's really interesting to me is how the same thing is happening now that was happening when we were in that practice session together. That we're looking at like the same thing, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at one side and you're looking at another.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's sort of
awesome.
like drawing the whole picture. I mean, this is so cool.
Yeah, we were talking about Black Moon Lilith that day in our breakout Zoom.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've never done Akashic Records before, but I'll sit here and and it was really cool. And I was validating you, you were validating me.
Yeah. We had
So,
this amazing, it was an amazing session. Okay. I love doing
and today's been amazing. I love this. And I hope
it.
you come back again. I
Yeah.
love
Oh,
having
yeah,
you on.
absolutely.
So, Karen, I pulled from the Healing Heart Oracle, and I got Hungry Heart. Awaken the true song of your heart.
Mm.
So, for some, this might be considered intimacy, but for me, this feels like kind of like looking at your shadow self and looking at your intuitive self, the light self, and then illuminating your heart. This is all about, the heart in this deck. It's about focusing on healing the heart, expanding the heart, exploring the heart, and in creativity, in through grief, through loss, it's a beautiful deck. And this here is about you're hungry for something, you're looking for something. When I saw hungry, I keep getting this on hungry eyes from the dirty dancing
I remember I
soundtrack.
heard it as you said that, and I can hear it in
I
my
got
head. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
hungry.
yeah.
So it's hungry eyes, you got hungry heart. But it's awakening the true son of your heart. And you mentioned teaching, because one of the other cards I got from my tarot is the Page of Pentacles. And that's about loving, nurturing, teaching. It's that student, it's that academic. And but I'm going to just put that back down really quick. So I wanted a couple clarifiers for the hungry heart, and I did get the Six of Wands. So you have risen above, you have risen above a battle. You've been victorious. You're holding your flag and you're on that beautiful horse. You have your freedom. You're celebrating. You're victorious. You have risen above. Um, and now you have that opportunity to go into self reflection. You got another hermit today. And I love this hermit, just the eyes, the age, just the knowledge, the awareness that's in there. And again, the woods, going within nature, going within yourself, finding that inner light, finding that what makes your heart happy, going into an isolation, not where you isolate yourself from people, but just giving yourself enough space from social media, a lot friends, family, and just giving yourself, you know, from that hectic schedule, and making sure, and this is for everybody, making sure that we have time for ourselves to unwind and to relax and to reflect. And the other card from the healing heart is the hopeful heart. An exciting surprise is coming your way. And I just love the color and the artwork in this deck. And for me, it feels very world tree. There's the knowledge again. You're going within your heart, like the hermit going within. And for me, the tree represents, ancestry. You're talking about teaching your children. So there's the world tree, the ancestry tree. Trees represent like health and Lenormand, having to pay attention to our roots and our health, and how we're being grounded, and just being grounded in your heart, being grounded with what makes you happy. And those are the cards that I got for you, sweetheart. And the page went with those, to teach. You want to teach your children. Um, and I just love how all the animals are surrounding there. You have the turtle, which is the great mother turtle nation for the native peoples in this area. You have the fox. Some people say they're tricksters, but they teach us lessons, and they're very clever, and they know how to perceive a space, an area for safety or for kind of gauging the energy, and they're just absolutely loving. You get the little squirrel on your shoulder too. And squirrels are about collecting, not hoarding, but just making sure you have enough. So it's beautiful. It's a gathering, it's a collecting, it's a sharing of knowledge that you're going to pass on, um, to your children. Um, Already, I got to back up a little bit. I'm seeing all these little black arrows. Still, oh my God, did I miss that many of them? Oh my goodness,
No,
Karen.
it's just comments from Care Bear.
Yeah.
And
I,
Jackie Jacaranda's here. Hi,
Hi, Jackie.
Jackie.
Okay, so we saw that one. This is reassuring. Thank you. Okay,
Good.
there's that. Got that.
Yeah. Yes, of
Okay,
course
with
it
your
is.
heart, yes.
Because pain tells us where to grow.
Like the tree. Yeah.
Yep.
We love you too. Oh, and you're welcome, Kaylee. So let's see, Heather, that makes me cry. I see a poem in that card. What deck is that? Why can I never remember the right name for this deck? And hold on, let me just grab the book. So I try not to read the book too much so that I'm not, to make sure that I connect myself with the cards. Yes, it's the Healing Heart Oracle by Ina Segal, and Jenna Della Cortalia does the artwork, and she's the one that did most of Colette Baron Reed's artwork for her decks.
Yeah.
And she's got her own decks coming out too
She's
that
just
are beautiful.
amazing as an artist.
And this author wrote this book because she went through an unexpected divorce. Her husband wanted a divorce from her after so many years together. And for her, it was a process of healing. And that's why she wanted to create this deck. And so it's all about, loving and processing and,
taking the pain and growing.
And making something beautiful out of it, most definitely.
Yeah.
She says, I hunger to share, learn, and teach. Well, there you go. I mean, and maybe this hermit too could be something where you take time out, maybe go to a school, start maybe studying if there's things that you're interested in. Because it says here, it's a new surprise, you're awakening. Maybe your certain gifts will start coming to you and you want to explore them. That you didn't know that you had before, or an opportunity to learn something or to take a class. Just be open to as much as possible. And yes, hello, Jackie. Jackie. You're on the right track. Yes, and we said hello to Jonathan.
Yeah, you are.
And she has yeah. Gemini. Alrighty. So, okay, we are all caught up with the comments. So next one up is Moira. I know Moira is still here and joyful. And that'll be our last two.
Gee, Moira, I just posted a video yesterday on what to do if you're feeling stuck. Go watch that. I don't have anything to say to you. No, I'm kidding. I'm just being an ass. Let's see, Moira. You don't have enough fun, Moira. There's not a lot of genuine joy. Like there's happiness, there's moments of happiness, but see, this is the difference between happiness and joy. Happiness is like 10 minutes. It's like you finish the fries and they're gone and you're not happy anymore. Or that box of cookies has disappeared and you're not going to be happy until you get more. Well, whatever.
Or a pint of ice cream.
Or a pint of ice cream, yeah. Oh, well, that's usually when I'm sad. Well, anyway, okay. Even though I'm lactose intolerant, I should know better. I'm not trying to make fun of you, okay, Moira? I just want to point out, just want you to understand the difference between joy and happiness. Happiness is transient. Happiness is like the weather. It comes and goes, and it's very superficial. It depends on your environment. Joy is something that's in your heart that nobody can take away from you, and that it doesn't matter what's happening around you. Within you, you feel joy. So it generates itself. It generates its own. It generates your energy. It influences your energy, and joy and creativity, beauty. These things are all related. These things all feed our energy and help us get unstuck. So, and this is just how I see it, and entertainment purposes only, because I don't have a degree in anything. Okay, I have a half a degree in English and history, which this is absolutely related to, of course. Feeling stuck to me is being out of touch with your real self and your genuine, your soul, if you want to look at it that way, but your genuine, authentic heart being. When you fall out of touch with your own inner being, your own self, that's when you start feeling stuck, because you don't have that energy anymore. You're not You're just like out there, ungrounded and sort of floating around. So, ways to get in touch with your inner self. Well, meditation, of course, they always say meditation. Creativity, joy, beauty. So, create something, make a mud pie, go bake some bread, go do, make, create. This will create joy within you. Just the act of making something, whatever it is, will make you happy, will make you joyful, not happy. I mean, it may make you happy too, but it'll make you joyful. It'll generate joy within you. Learn what brings you joy and what brings you pain, and do the things that bring you joy. We have to earn a living, and that usually sucks big time, because most jobs suck big time. Okay. They're stressful. There's no appreciation. You're not paid enough, all kinds, and dealing with the public. Oh, please tell me about it. I did tech support. So very few of us find any kind of satisfaction, let alone joy, in the work that we do. So that means that outside of work, because work is just to feed your face and pay your rent or pay your mortgage, okay? Outside of work, what can you do to bring joy into your heart? What can you create? Can you go to an art gallery and take a look at some beautiful paintings? Can you go for a walk in the park? Can you go and sit on a beach, or, go for a hike and just sit there, in a field and just be happy in nature? Go sit in a park. All of these are things that will bring you closer to yourself. Because the masters, the first piece of advice when people ask for spiritual advice, 9 times out of 10, I hear meditate. And the second thing is be joyful. So, Moira, if you're a painter, go paint. Damn it. What's holding you back? Paint on the weekends, paint in the evenings. This will help you. This will bring you back in touch with yourself. You will stop feeling stuck. I mean, I don't know how long it'll take. Maybe a day, maybe a week, maybe a month. I don't know. Consistent practice, consistently working on it, consistently looking after your heart, looking after yourself in a meaningful, practical way, by doing things you love, by doing things that bring you joy. This will bring you to yourself. And nobody can take that away from you, and you'll be really happy, even though you have to work, a tough job that you don't like very much, that you're not appreciated for and not paid enough for. I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't know that that's true. I'm just spouting at this point. That's not the masters talking. That's just me.
I think that's a lot of experience for people. And when we had
it was
to shut
certainly
down
my
for
experience.
COVID, people realized that when they had to stay home, what a difference in their health, their mental health, their well-being. And that's why a lot of people didn't want to go back to work or want to start their own business, because they were tired of being run into the ground, and not being appreciated and barely making,
they
so
no longer have the expense and the awful experience of commuting, and no longer having to deal with toxic office politics, and no longer having to, like this, all that kind, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, Moira, go create, go bring joy into your life, find out what it is and bring joy into your life. Because, okay, painting, then paint. Maybe you're a writer, maybe you're a dancer, maybe you could learn how to play the piano or the guitar, maybe, who knows, I mean, I don't know. I don't know you at all. So all I'm saying is look for ways to create, look for ways to bring joy, look for what does bring joy, and do it. That's for everybody. That's universal, by the way. It's not just for Moira. That's universal for every human being.
We're all creators.
Yeah, we're all creators. We're all makers.
And that's how we express ourselves. That was the first language. People would do art, and that's how they communicated, through art.
40,000 years ago, in the back of the ass end of these caves.
Dancing, drumming. Yep. This is the universal language.
Chanting.
Yep, exactly. And I just want to share really quick. Karen said, "No wonder I adore you so much, Linda. English major here." And Jonathan said, "Right, Care Bear. Linda is totally adorable."
Oh God. I haven't
And
been called
Karen said,
adorable since I was 4. Oh, you're so sweet, Jonathan.
"I had to set boundaries with work and not." You know, the only every time I hear you snore, it's endearing. I love it. I think of Jamie,
I got mocked
Gerald's
so
friend,
much.
Jamie.
I
You know
got mocked so much when I was well, up until like still people laugh at me because I snort. Well, good, because they're laughing. I'm happy.
So, Moira, I have for spiritual some very interesting cards. I got the Andean Cross, and this represents the stairs up to the upper world and the steps down to the lower world, and where we connect here in the middle and we move through that portal and we go through and connect and bring both those worlds together in our spiritual practice. And I said, okay, so let's get a couple clarifiers for that. I got the 3 of Wands, which is, again, look at that circle right there. It's about portals. It's about you stepping through and connecting with God. For me, I don't know if you can feel portals or if you have one. There's something to do with portals around you and you being able to step through psychically through them to be able to communicate with extraterrestrials, with elementals, but there is a very strong connection with the ship. Well, I was just saying, ship coming in, and it looks like that ship's coming out of the circle too. I know this represents in most traditional, this is your ship coming in, everything that you've planned for is coming to fruition, and you're waiting for your ship to come in. You see it. And yes, you have things planned. I mean, not planned, but you have things created. Well, yeah, you have things planned. There is a foundation created. And 2, I love the water. So the water, the circle, the portals, just very connected with interdimensional beings and interdimensional travel. Okay. And another card I ask, because I always ask for an extra clarifier, I got the death card.
Ooh,
and that's about rebirth and transformation.
And look at how beautiful she is.
I know, isn't she gorgeous? So you have the death card, and the other card that I got from the deck, the shamanic deck, was stand still. You're saying go sit somewhere in a field or in a meadow. Stand still. Take time to meditate, to sit with yourself, whether it's at home listening to soothing music, going out into nature and listening, to the birds, to the wind, wherever you can go to find that peace, to go within. And yeah, and again, this is like a doorway. Here's another portal, actually, if you think about it. So I'm a lot of portal here, girl. A lot of interdimensional traveling, astral traveling. I don't know if you're working with, I don't know if you connect with a star seed, if you're working on developing maybe relationships, or you think you've been seeing or communicating with ships in the sky or beings on an interdimensional level, not necessarily extraterrestrial, but on and within the planet, because there are some people who do believe that there are still civilizations existing in some dimension or form within the earth as well. So that cross, I don't know if that's what you are exploring, but if it is, that's what it feels like. Just keep working with and you're going through that transformation. Just make sure you take time to meditate and get grounded. So as you're processing this, as you're bringing this in and you're experiencing this, you're not all over the place. And good crystals for that are smoky quartz, black tourmaline, hematite, obsidian, stones that really get you grounded and rooted while you're doing this work. Black kyanite is good too. Black kyanite in one hand, blue kyanite in the other, and it helps with the energy flow, keeping grounded but yet bringing in that positive energy, and it kind of like a circulation of energy, bringing it in, getting grounded, releasing what no longer serves. So there we go.
Yeah.
So let me just make sure, because sometimes I forget and I mix cards in other decks back do that, and I'm shuffling, going, "Where did this come from?" So I don't know if Moira here.
Yeah, just hasn't said much in the last
Oh,
few
okay. I am divided between a Pisces Sun Moon that wants to paint and Cap
minutes.
Rising that turns fun into work, and
So I get
I'm a
it.
little biased here. I'm a painter. I have a degree in fine arts from both state for painting, and so I'm a little biased here. But yes, paint. And if you can't paint, color pencils, pastels, coloring
Charcoal,
books, whatever
anything.
calls to you. Yep.
Your ballpoint pen.
Photography, yes, or ballpoint pen, doodle. I mean, just let that all process and channel it through, especially with that portal card, what you could be channeling in and doing through your artwork.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, that's what a lot of us artists do. We connect with spirit. And Jonathan and Moira, bring your paints. Jonathan and I are doing a live painting session together on my channel on Monday. So people in chat, grab your art supplies, paint along, draw, do whatever artistic along with Jonathan and I. So there's a perfect opportunity for you to.
You
Oh,
did?
you did.
Oh my goodness, Moira. See, I was just about to interrupt Heather and say, I think Moira's pretty plugged in,
You think? Moira, listen to that. And people keep telling me to make a deck, and I want to, but it's not right yet. I'm playing with ideas, and I know the minute it's right, it'll click. But Moira, that's amazing. Channeled. I mean, art is channeled energy. Our higher selves, our
Well,
muses, our guides. When I do energetic color painting, sometimes for people, I'll sit there and I'll see certain colors, and I'll let them know what I see, and I'll put them down. And woo, babies are getting chatty for that. So yes, Moira, paint.
you go.
All of us. Creativity is such a great stress reliever, especially with stuff that we go through during the day, whether it's music, dancing, painting, drawing. I can go on and on.
Yeah.
So last one up is Joyful Journey. Are you still here, my dear?
Will I stay for more than 6 months at this new job?
The birds are like, yes, I know, right, Karen?
If you leave, it'll be because that's your choice. Yeah. If you choose to go, you can go, clearly. But no one's going to make you go. There may be a transition in there from one form of work to another. So like, I don't know, maybe a promotion or maybe going from contract to full-time. I don't know what. There's some kind of transition in there. But if you want to stay, you can stay. If you want to go, you can go. So, yeah.
I don't think she's here.
Up to you. Well, what's the timestamp? 1:53. Okay.
So this will be our last one, but I'm still going to go ahead and put. But continue sharing whatever you get. I'm just letting you know that.
Yeah, no, that's all I have is that if she wants to stay, she'll stay, and if she wants to go, that will be fine too.
Yeah. But you're perfect, because
because nobody's going to make her go.
So there's the devil. This is, if you feel that you feel, bondage to this job, bound to this job, and it's not making you happy, you have that choice. There's the Two of Pentacles. Balance your options. You can go or you can stay. But right now, if this is how you're feeling, and this is like the energy that came up, she says she's here. Okay. So joyful, if you're feeling like in this job, you're, like the devil's on your back, you're a slave to the grind, I don't know if it's about material. If you're concerned about not being able to have enough money, if you were to leave this job, if it would hurt your lifestyle, or No, okay. If I feel like it's something to do maybe with the lifestyle. If you were to leave this job and find something else, it might be less, but would you still be able to survive? I believe so. But there's something, and this may not even necessarily be the job itself. This could be you not being able to let go of um, the fear. You may be bound by fear to leave this job and not knowing if there's something better out there for you. But look at that beautiful Two of Pentacles. I mean, that green, the balance. It's in your ball court. Just balance the options financially. You know, it's kind of like one of those cards of paying Peter to rob, you know, or robbing Paul, whatever he's, however that goes. But just maybe balancing finances, seeing, you know, if you can go down to a lower paying job, would you still be able to live comfortably and within your means? But it really is just doing just that, pros and cons, and then making that decision. If you're, you know, let me just see what was on the bottom of the deck. The Two of Cups. So another two. So emotionally, you know, this is supposed to be like with partnership, but emotionally, you're fighting with yourself on this, and you can't make headsway. What to do? Get grounded. Figure out your finances. Try to, you know, balance those emotions with what on how you want to process forward. I mean, because I feel like, you know, this may be the job too. You know, the actual people may, you feel like you guys are treated like slaves to the grind at this place, but at the same time this could be you holding yourself back out of fear that you're not good enough. You don't know if you're going to find the right job, and something just jumped in my head. I'm going to put it out there. What about starting your own consult consulting business? I don't know where that just came. Consultation business, some sort of business consulting, doing it on your own with the knowledge that you have already and the experience, jumping off and doing something of your own. Um, that's great. Just going back to work after long due to medical. Okay.
Well,
But
there.
did you ever think
Yeah.
maybe of, yeah, doing something? What do you think, Linda? Do you feel like maybe starting her own business, being, you know, where she's at home, she can keep an eye on her health, she can feel in
I think
control of her.
I think that she's better off learning on somebody else's dime than her own. And and I think a lot of what's holding you back is fear. I mean, just because you've been
Mm-hmm.
off for a long time, the workplace has changed. Um, and and get your. I think it's a good thing for you to do this job, actually, and I think that it won't be as terrible as you're afraid it will be, and you'll be fine. I think you know, like this is what I'm being told is to get over your fear and smooth sailing.
Hi,
The
Nancy.
road is clear. I'm looking at a road that, I mean, it's twisty, windy, but in a pretty way because it's a pretty valley, and so it, you know, it's not like twisty, windy because you're going along a steep mountain with, you know, storm clouds. It's pretty. It's a nice valley with hills and trees, and it's, you know, it's a pretty road, and it's smooth, and there's no obstacles in the way once you get over your fear.
The Devil card. Yep. Letting go of what holds you back. Perfect. Wonderful. She said, I'm okay. So, yeah, we already pulled that up. So I'm looking for Steven's little black arrows to make sure I didn't miss anything. And Nancy, thank you for joining us. It was good
See
to see
you.
you, honey. And Nancy and I will be back Monday. So, really quick, that was our last one before we end. Again, you have a show coming up tonight for anybody who may have wanted a reading
In an hour.
from Linda and I today. You can get one later. So, what you got coming up, Linda?
In an hour. And tomorrow at 2 o'clock PS, no, 2:30, sorry, is Cloak and Mantle. We've decided to do this on Dragonfly Crystal's channel and also on my channel, because this time I won't forget to hit the simulcast button, um, which I did today. My apologies.
Oh,
The That's at 2:30. Before I shoot my mouth off, let me just confirm that, because I
Yes, the simulcasting is really difficult, especially when you got multiple people and you got to jump back and forth between chats. It'd be nice if YouTube and StreamYard worked that out so that it didn't matter whose channel you were on, that you could see
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. I lied. It's at 4 o'clock PST, which is 7 o'clock EST. Um, uh, Cloak and Mantle on my channel, on Val Dragonfly Crystal's channel, and as well, and Viviani's channel, and probably Diana. I don't know if Diana Oil Painter has one. Anyway, we're channeling messages tomorrow. We decided to, instead of doing it every week, because that was really tough, we decided we were going to do it full moon and new moon, and tomorrow is the full moon in Virgo. So tomorrow, Tuesday, another show. Simulcasting with Val Dragonfly Crystals, Viviani, and Diana, live Akashic Records reading. And then again next Thursday on my channel, just me, myself, nobody else, just me, because I'm the queen of my universe. There you go.
There you go. Darn right, you're the chrome queen of the universe, of your universe. And Jay said, don't forget to close the records, but I think you're going to do that after the show, right? Or are we going to do that now?
Well, we can do that right now.
Okay.
It takes 10 seconds. I would like to close by thanking the light for the truth. I would like to close by thanking the light for the healing energy. And I would like to close by thanking the light for the guidance and compassion towards our soul's purpose. And with this, we lock the records of this group and people who come in the future to join this group. The records are now closed.
All righty. And Moira said, great readings. You both read well together. I agree.
It's fun. It's fun, isn't it? I really enjoy this combination, because it's a different aspect. And Heather, I'm so impressed with how much you got on the mediumship end of it. I mean, that blew me away, because I got very, very little. He was very reticent, very shy guy.
And for me, as I see it, it's like, I wish I could be able to do that without the need of the cards. Maybe that might come, but for me, the cards is kind of like my my jumping point, and then stuff kind of comes after that. Yeah.
And listen, I have 26 decks, or maybe it's 27 now. Okay. And it's not because I'm a reader, it's because I'm a sucker for beautiful art. Okay.
Me too.
So I have a collection of Colette Baron Reed.
I have like 9 decks of hers.
Yeah. Same. Well, Moira, I want to say Wanda is indeed the queen of my universe. She is one of my avian overlords, to whom I must offer obeisance and
oh my goodness,
and sacrifice daily. Oh yes, offerings of food, offerings of treats, offerings of what's on my plate. Because if I don't share, I hear about it.
Yeah.
Oh, Joyful, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you everybody for I'm finally over 700, so thank you everybody.
Oh, good for you, Heather. That's lovely.
And let's get Linda up there. Let's help her build her channel. You helped me build mine by becoming a subscriber to me back in the day, so I appreciate.
Well, yeah, of course I did.
So I appreciate everybody. Yes. And a comment helps us. Sonia, yes, ladies, on the 100% on the illustrations of the cards. Yeah.
Oh. Well, you see, the thing is that sometimes they just grab right through my eyes and grab my heart. I don't have any other way of describing it. I see an image and I go, whoa, and yeah.
Like Allison says, cards with pieces of paper with pretty pictures on them. I'm like, yes, so many pieces. And the ones I fall in love with on Etsy are like, independent, and they're like $60, $70, $80, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to take a mortgage out just to
hey, I eat beans and rice to be able to afford.
Oh my goodness.
Well, why? Like, it's priorities, right?
Yeah, and it's better than buying bootleg too. Somewhere.
What?
You know, and it's better than buying bootleg too. Help support artists and avoid bootleg decks that you can find on Amazon, on
Or
Temu,
Temu. Yeah.
and place like that. So please, you know, sometimes the artists are actually are contacted by the printing companies who do them to ask, say, if we do a little off the side deck, you get a little bit more royalty. Sometimes they say yes, but it's better to check with the artist, you know, and the writer who creates the decks, because that's a lot of hours and time creating those images. And, you know, to me, it cheapens them to go and buy a
Yeah.
bootleg deck, you know,
Yeah.
just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just in my, and being an artist, you know, and having a friend
Yeah.
close to
No, I
Louise.
totally get it.
And
My late husband was an artist. I totally get it.
so yeah, all of us who make the Lenormand cards, you know, I'm forgetting her name already. I'm so sorry. Was it Anne? Was it Anne that does the, or Moira that does the
Moira made the Lenormand cards.
Lenormands? You know, how would we feel, you know, if we found out you know, I wouldn't buy a bootleg deck of poor, you know, Moira's deck. I want that money to go to her and help support her, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, gotta run. Peace and love. Yes, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. We've been on for like over 2 hours. I gotta make dinner and then I gotta shuffle
I gotta
off.
have something to eat before I go on my live.
Yes, you gotta ground yourself. Yes, and bootleg decks would have bad vibes. I would agree. I accidentally bought one before because I didn't know there was such a thing, and when I realized it, I'm like, nope, in the garbage it went. So
yeah.
All righty. So everybody, thank you again. Check out Linda later, and we'll see you on the next slide.
See you later.
Yep.
Thank you so much for having me, Heather. This has been so much fun.
Same here, honey.
This has been so much fun.
Yes.